All right, so the first checkpoint for your personal website project is due in a couple of weeks. And I use these checkpoints just to make sure that you're on the right track and everything. So in Brightspace, we have right here Final Project. If you click on that, you'll see the final project description, which takes you to this Google Doc. And we've done or we're doing these bits right here, right? HTML5 elements, which is chapter 1 from your book, and CSS design, which is chapter 2 from your book. All right, so that's all we're focused on is chapters 1 and 2. All right, and this is literally a checklist that we're going to go through and make sure that you have these things. So I'm going to keep this open. I'm going to probably throw it on another screen so I can have it open off to the side. But if we open up VS Code, and again, I have this spring 2023 folder. And what VS Code does when you open a folder, it'll show you the folders that are in there. Okay. But in my case, this spring folder, the only thing in this folder is TSS tutorial. And the only thing in that folder is TSS tutorial. So it opened those by default. Okay. So what I want to do is I want to create a new folder within this spring directory. All right. And obviously, if you're watching this during a different semester, it's not going to say 2023 spring. All right. So right click on the folder name, and then I'm going to give this, I'm creating a new folder in here, and I'm going to call this public_HTML. All right. Just trust me, name your personal website public_HTML. It will make sense later. Okay. And inside public HTML, there's nothing. So I'm going to create a new file, and I'm going to call this index.html. Also important. All right, let's name your homepage index.html. And we have this blank file just staring at us. Okay, and this is where we would type like doc type, HTML, head, body, all that stuff. All right, which is fine. But let's be a little bit more efficient here because we're creating HTML pages, and we're going to take advantage of some things in VS Code. So if you hold down Control Shift and hit P, like command palette, you can type install, and you should find extensions, install extensions. And that's what I want to do. I want to install an extension. And this shows me this is the stuff I have installed. And what I'm looking for is boilerplate. If I spell it right, I'll get more results. Okay. So we have HTML5 boilerplate, and then there's extended boilerplate, and there's another one here, right? How do you know which one you want to install? And there's one down here too, right? Look, this one has 2 million installations, 5 stars. This one has 45,000 installations, 5 stars. Where's the other one? 8,873. So generally, go with the one that has the most installs, as long as it's well rated. So I'm going to install that. All right, and it's been installed. And if you watch right there, it just showed you how it works. Okay, so let's see. I hope I don't have to restart. But on my page, and then I'm gonna click these 2 files here again, just to come back to my directory listing. I'm gonna type HTML. I don't think that worked. That's not what I want. Okay. All right, let me close VS Code. I might have to restart VS Code for that to trigger. Oh, what's do? Okay. Open VS Code again. Let's see if I can get this to work. HTML5 boilerplate. I'm going to click on that, and it just gave me all of this stuff to build an HTML page. All right, probably more than I even need. All right, and definitely a lot of things that you have no idea what's going on here. Okay, but it saved me a little bit of time. The one thing I'm going to do is get rid of this if it's less than IE7, or if it is 7 or IE8. I don't really care. Okay, we don't care if it's IE7 there. And I don't have any JavaScript on this page, so I'm deleting that stuff. That's fine. And then let me make this a little bit bigger so you can see it. Okay. And I'm going to create a title. So my title is going to be Professor Nagel's homepage. Save this. All right, just did some reformatting for me. That's okay. You can put in the meta description. I don't like these slash, the way they close this here, right? The space slash greater than. So watch this. We can take that space slash greater than. I have it highlighted. Control H will bring up find and replace. And it takes what you have highlighted and it puts it into the find portion. And then what I want to replace it with is just a regular old greater than. So it's going to find every space slash greater than, replace it with a regular greater than. Okay, much better. Oh, every time I save it puts those back in. That's annoying. I don't need that meta tag either. I must have something installed that's doing that. Whatever, I'll leave it in there. And notice this link tag, link rel equals style sheet, href equals, we don't have, it's not pointing to anything, right? So we have to make it point to something. So I'm gonna make it point to styles.css, which means I need to create styles.css. So I'm gonna make a new file, Control N for a new file, and save this as styles.css right inside that public HTML directory. And you can see it appear over here. All right, and I know there's like some char set I need to do. Right, I think it's like that. Okay, so we're done there. So my HTML page, I know I'm going to have a header. Oops. And I know I'm going to have a footer. And I know in the middle, I'm probably going to have a main. All right, and let's see. Where do I want my navigation? I'm going to put my navigation in the header. So I'm going to have a nav list. All right, and my header is also going to have like an H1 tag that says Professor Nagel's homepage. Okay. Man, I really don't like whatever's reformatting this on me, but whatever. And then inside my UL, I'm going to have a bunch of LIs that are going to link somewhere. Okay, ahref equals something. And my pages are going to be, I'm going to have a home page. I'm going to have a resume page. That's important. I'm going to have a contact page. And when we look at, if I can find it, when we look at the requirements, 3 or more pages. Well, my homepage, resume, contact, those are 3 pages. I did it, okay? And I'm going to name these things index.html, that's what my homepage is linking to. And then I have resume.html, and then I have contact.html, okay? And if I look at this page right now, I open this up, where is it? On my OneDrive. 375 Spring public HTML index. This is what it looks like. Okay. And when I click on resume, cannot be processed, file not found, because I don't have resume.html, right? I only have index.html. So if I take this file and save as, so Control Shift S will bring me save as, I can save this as resume.html. And then I can save it one more time as contact.html. Okay. And when I'm working in resume.html, this is going to be Professor Nagel's resume. And on contact.html, it's going to say contact Professor Nagel. So I have 3 HTML pages that all look really similar, right? But they are different content. So here's my home page, my resume page, my contact page. All right. Not doing a whole lot right there, but I've got those pages built. So 3 pages, checked. Name your homepage index.html, check. Keep all file names and extensions lowercase, check. HTML5 sections. Do we have a header? I used a main, not an article. I have a nav, I have a footer. Okay, so we did that, check. Some sort of inline image. So I'm going to have to come up with an image. Okay, so I found an image of my dog, and I'm going to take it. Oops, I don't want to move it. I want to copy it. I'm going to copy this image in. So I have a copy of this image of my dog. If I come back here, there you see harper.jpg. If I click on it, you see a picture of her. Okay. So on my homepage on index.html, inside main, I have to put an image of my dog. So image src equals harper.jpg. Images need alt tags. Spell our name right. And then close that image. Okay, so an inline image, check. Yep, if I go to my homepage, there's a picture of my dog. That worked. Paragraphs of text. So I need multiple paragraphs of text. And for your first checkpoint, you don't need actual text in here, okay? But eventually you're going to need real text on your page. So if I want to come up with some fake text, there's lots of places online you can generate it. You can look for Greeking generator. So Greeking is like fake text. Let's try a different one. Okay, so I want 3 paragraphs of text. There we go. Copy that. Come back here and paste it. Now notice I pasted it within the p tag. This is my opening p tag. This is my closing p tag. That's not right. I want to do it like that. And then this is another paragraph. And this is my third paragraph. Right, so when it's all said and done, I have 3 paragraphs of text. And if I come back and look at my home page, there it is. 3 paragraphs of text. So we did that. A list. Yep, we have a list right there. We used a navigation list. Check. Links between your pages. Yep, I did that. External links. I don't have an external link, but you can add one, right? So maybe I'm going to take like this line and say href equals, I'm going to link it somewhere. I'm going to link it to the Buffalo State website. All right. And I don't know if we talked about this, but if you want a link to open in a new tab, you use the target attribute and you set the target to blank. All right. So ahref equals target blank. Man, something is like really screwing with my formatting. I'm gonna have to figure out what that is and disable it. But anyhow, when you come back here, this now links to the Buffalo State website. And does your HTML validate? So if I go to the W3C validator, here it is. There's 2 different ways you can do it. All right. Because you have the file on your machine, you can validate by file upload. So there's index.html. Check it. And so it's telling us these things that are automatically getting put in place, which I need to disable somewhere. You don't need them. I know that. And it's this warning here, add a language attribute to the HTML. We can do that. It's just a warning. Look, I don't care about info or warnings. I care about errors. So if you see anything red here, you got to fix it. Okay. But if you want to fix this warning on our HTML, we're going to add a language attribute and say that the language of this website is EN. Okay, great. So we just did all that. All right. An external style sheet. Right there. We have that. Text and link color specified. So I don't have that. So here I can just say like, and you know what? I'm just going to do everything. Okay. Everything. The color is going to be azure. That's not a good color. Give me a different color. Something I can actually see. Okay. Ooh, I always like Cadet Blue. I don't know why it's just a cool name. Okay, so I specified my text color, links. So I can specify my link color. It's going to be like this blue violet. And remember, with links, you should specify link visited, active, hover. Oh, it's just a link. Okay. So these mean different things, right? And sometimes you want to make them look a little different. Normally you would take active and hover and put them as their own. So I'm going to choose something a little bit like brighter. And these colors, I'm not married to these, okay? Just doing something so you can see it. So what this is doing now, if I come back to my web page, changed all my font colors, and believe it or not, I changed this link color. But as I hover over it, it makes it even brighter. Okay, and as I click on it, it uses that same color because that's hover and active. Active is as your mouse is down on it. Okay, link is an unvisited link. Visited is a visited link. Normally, you want to keep those the same. All right, but yeah, I specified colors there. Use of font face. So you can even just keep it simple here and just say font family, and this gives me a whole list. I used Sugu UI since it's what I use in my other class as well. Come back here, refresh. It's looking like this now. Okay. I would like you to take the font face and take it a step further and like declare your own. Right. And remember, when you're declaring your own font family, you can name it whatever you want. So I'm going to name this thing Nagel. And then what is the source to this font? Well, if I go to fonts.google.com, I can find a font that I want to use. This one, that one's kind of Open Sans. Oh, what's this one? Poppins. Yeah, we like using Poppins. Oh, here's how you can link to it if you just wanted this this one font. But I wanted to download the file because you can use any font that you have here. And I'm going to take this file. We have all these pop-ins and everything, right? The one I really just want is regular. Okay, and I'm going to put that also in my public HTML. So if you get a TTF file, you can drop it in your public HTML. And then here you can say, when you're talking about the font family Nagel, use Poppins regular. And here I'm going to say that my font family is going to be Nagel Sans Serif. So what this should do, if I look at this font, is it going to tell me? Yeah, it's just telling me that it's Nagel. So remember, Nagel is what I named my font family. Now, I wouldn't call this one Nagel. All right, I would call it Poppins because that's the name of the font. But yeah, I changed the font on my website as well. So do we have an external style sheet? Yep, that's that styles.css. I specified the colors. I made use of font face and my CSS validates. So at the very, very, very minimum, this is checkpoint 1. Okay. Now my resume page is empty. My contact page is empty. Maybe start putting some things in there. You can include more than one picture. All right. But what I'm not concerned with here is layout. I don't care about layout at all for checkpoint 1. All right. So here we have checkpoint 1. Here's how to submit it. Okay. This is my public HTML directory. I'm going to go one directory above it, take that public HTML, right click on it, and send to a compressed zip folder. So now I have public HTML zip. Okay, that's the file you're submitting, the zip file. And you look at checkpoint 1, you upload public HTML.zip, and then you can hit submit. All right, if you need to, you can look at the rubric down here and see all the things you need to do and the score on them. But that is what you need to do for checkpoint 1.